Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope indeed you guys are doing well. Hang on, I'm just trying to pin this in the group. But the group will be. Hello, good sir.
Hello.
How did you get on here? How did you do that? All of a sudden, there he is. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope this message finds everybody doing well. Glenn, I titled this thing, I think, appropriately. I'm hearing, and I know you are as well, both of us, you guys, are having conversations with you guys on a regular basis, and we're both hearing growing concerns about AEP from agents.
Absolutely.
And we need to have a conversation about it. Glenn, what is this growing concern that we're both hearing, seeing, experiencing?
I think there's a few concerns that I'm starting to hear come up. So first of all, we're 10 days from AEP starting. Some people count from October 15th. The correct way to really count is from October 1st, right? When about AEP and the plans, right? You can actually start reaching out to your clients, reaching out to your book of business and explaining what the new plans look like, start to do those plan reviews. So we are 10 days from that, from October 1st, from the start of AEP. We are literally 10 days away, which I think for some of you, if you're not prepared, that's probably really, really scary. I think for those of you who have put in the effort and you're actually ready to rock, you're probably excited. You're probably chomping at the bit. You're probably counting down for October 1st. That's part of a dichotomy of being is some of you really prepared and excited. Some of you aren't, and it's showing. So, you know, the I'm going to share with you guys today is that it's not too late. It's to be ready, to be successful, to have a great AEP. And ultimately, the goal that we want to set in front of you guys is how can you generate $100,000 this AEP, right? Who wouldn't love to make 6 figures in 2 months? You know, you worked for 6 figures going into next year. But some of the concerns, you know, how do I resist clients and still write new business? If I'm trying to write new business, you know, where can I and stay busy all day long without standing in Walmart? You know, these are we're hearing over and over and over again. And we want to talk to you guys a little bit today and also a lot next week on how you can have a great AEP, even if right now, this moment, if you know it's 20th, now you're watching this and you're not 100% prepared, how can you still get there, right? Coming into the days before AEP really starts. So, Christian, what do you think? Where, you know, we always say elephant, one bite at a time. Where do you want to start with this thing?
You know, I feel a lot of narratives that I'm seeing, right? I've seen some of guys in here essentially communications that's like, you know, this about client out retention, right? We've seen that kind of narrative. Now, for some of you guys, I think you're in really unique positions from the standpoint of you might be in a market to where you might literally have 1,000 clients that are getting their plans canceled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe it's you and like one other person or something like that. I would actually fully understand that person coming to me and being like, I literally don't have any time for client acquisition. I get it. I get what I mean. It's a math problem at that point. Is that the view? Nay. It is not the bulk of you. I think you're experiencing maybe 20, 30, 40 clients having their plans exit, you know, and maybe 3, 4, 5, 600 or something like that. Some of you are, you know, maybe 50 to like, even if all your clients were having their plans canceled, which probably isn't the case for those people, it's not going to whole AEP. I think for the majority of you, that client acquisition needs to be a massive priority. Not to say that client acquisition is not, but client retention, is not, but client acquisition needs to be forefront of what you're thinking, right? Think about this. This AEP could very well potentially be the 2008 stock market crash. And think about how many people, right?
I love that.
Think about how many people went on the defensive and they're just, you know, they're better be careful, better be, don't want, ooh, scary, right? And lots of became unbelievably successful through capitalizing on that opportunity. It's always the minority, not the majority, unfortunately. In this case, it should be the majority. And I say that to say that analogy ties because this AEP is disruptive. We all know it.
Yes.
And where there's disruption, there's opportunity to capture a lot of freaking business, my
Yes.
friends.
I want to ask you specifics here because there's a number summit that shout out to me over at Agent Pipeline. He went over a specific number of what he believes could be the overall number of seniors that might need a rewrite, whether that's a PDP rewrite or an overall, their MAPD written. What would you say on a year? What would you say that rewrite number usually looks like? And then I'll set at the summit and how big that number was. I almost fell out of my chair. I remember when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, like this is insane.
Asking about a normal AEP, the percentage of clients that need to be
Yes.
rewritten, something like that?
Yes.
I would say maybe somewhere between 5 to 10%.
Yeah, 10%, right? Yeah, that's what I was guessing. Around 10% where it's like, they have to be written, right? And obviously, like Christian said a moment ago, you guys, this can get really regionally specific based on where you're at, where your book of business is located, what carriers that, you've written book is with currently. So some of these numbers will look very differently. Again, as an example, we've reviewed our book internally and we actually are in a really good spot where we're not going to have to, not to rub it in, you guys, but we are not going to have to rewrite the majority of our clients. So that's the good news. But for some of you are going to have to rewrite the majority of your clients. So the number gave was about 10% on a normal year. The number that Lester from Agent Pipeline used when he was looking at the statistics, and I remember exactly where he pulled, I think in his presentation, he did a really great job of kind of having that in front of me. But if I remember correctly, he said it was upwards of close to 70% that would need some type of help with their plan this year. So, I mean, you're talking about a multiple of, even conservatively, let's call it a 5x. There's potentially 5 times or more the number of seniors that will be looking for help or who will need help with their plan this AEP. So that's the opportunity. There's blood in the streets, just like that analogy Christian used, which I think is so apropos. The 2008 stock crash, right? The housing market crash. So many people, the natural inclination is to hold on what you have, to move your money into a savings account, right? And to just kind of stay away. There's opportunity. What are you going to do?
And I think different answers to that depending on what type of person you are that's watching, right? I think the first there's type 1, as you're going to do what Glenn just said, right? Like scary on the mode. I'm going to retract, right? I'm going to go in defense mode. I'm going to, fortress and hide behind it, right? And I'm going to strengthen certain sides of my fortress and everything like that. But I'm not against the opponent, right?
Right.
Then there's the type that said, sure, we want to strengthen our fortress, right? We want to be ready. We're also going out there. We're going to kill everyone. You know what I mean? Like those are the two personality types. I am personality type 2 through and through.
Absolutely.
And so,
absolutely.
We are, as an organization, I think we'll do great internally. I think we will do great externally. I think we'll do great all around. And I'm not for some time. I would be if my intention was 100% defense, right?
Yes.
I'm going to use a quote I said at last year's summit, 2023. Defense wins championships, but not in business.
Love it.
We're not in sports, right? None of
this
us.
Is war.
Most of us bad at sports. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
I'm not projecting. although I did the basketball challenge, I will say that.
Okay. Next time. Really
a great mid AEP thing to bring back. So, but anyway, I circle all say, right? Like, are you going to offense? What is your plan? Maybe you're listening to me and you're like, that sounds great, Christian. I'd love to play offense. It sounds great, but I don't know how.
Right.
I believe we have some solutions for you guys on this live training webinar we're going to be doing next Wednesday. Glenn, talk to them about that a little bit.
Yes, exactly. You beat me to the punch. I was just about to talk about that. Randy, I believe I saw you watching. Randy or Lester, if you're watching this, if you could drop a link to webinar we will be doing next Wednesday. That is next Wednesday. I believe it's 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. next Wednesday. And again, it's how to make $100,000 this AEP with Lead Heroes, how we can help you earn $100,000 this AEP with Lead Heroes. It's not too late. If you're not prepared or you're not ready, or if you're still, maybe you're halfway prepared, maybe you haven't quite gotten it all figured out yet, that's totally fine. You still have time. There is still time to figure this out. And Christian, I really want to help you guys with the resources that we have, that we developed over the past 10 years of doing this, the resources that we're using internally in our agency that we're also offering externally to you guys as agents. So don't miss this webinar. Again, this coming Wednesday, I believe that's the 23rd, 24th. Maybe you could double check me on the actual date.
I will certainly do that. It is the 25th.
25th, 1 p.m. Pacific. Thank you, Lester. He just dropped the link to the webinar in the comments, you guys. So if you haven't registered for that webinar, please do so by clicking that link below. You're not going to want to miss this. We're going to be talking about retention. We're going to be talking about how Lead Heroes can help you with retention in your business. So it's not just about offense, which again, Christian and I are on the same page. Sometimes the best defense is a great offense. If you might lose and you just can't get to them, you can't rewrite them, or someone else might write them, bringing in a ton of new clients will supersede any type of loss you'll have there, right? The mindset that some of you have where you're playing pure defense and you're just trying to retain clients, I think is a losing mindset, especially long term. Let's do it all. Let's retain your existing clients and add a ton of new clients so you have $100,000 in your war chest going into 2025 so you can continue to grow your business. That's what we're discussing on this webinar. So it's going to be retention and how Lead Heroes can help you retain your existing clients. It's going to be talking about getting new clients, how you can compliantly stay busy with an endless amount of prospects on your calendar. We're also going to be talking about some of the other Medicare options. You know, guys, you all med subs. You've heard me talk about med subs before. I love med subs during AEP because a lot of these Medicare supplement beneficiaries, they see the marketing and they think, I've got to switch. I've got to sub. It's AEP. That's not true. We all know that's not true, right? You can have Medicare supplement transaction happen year round, right? Any time of year. But take advantage of all the AEP marketing that's going on. These billions of dollars that's going to be dumped into AEP marketing. You can take advantage of that and have better Medicare supplement sales conversions than you'll have almost any other time of the year. I've seen it happen over and over and over. I know this to be true. We're going to be discussing that as well on the webinar. So offense, getting new clients, current clients, how you can earn $100,000 or more this AEP. It's more than possible, you guys. Christian, how many applications, I had to put a rough estimate, give me a conservative estimate to get to $100,000 this AEP. How many apps about?
Yeah, and it's funny, I just did a video about this on the YouTube channel. A lot of you guys might have been, it's about 1,000 being like 4 or 5 days. But on that vid, you're probably looking at, depending on where you are, 300 to 350, depending on, because some station. But if you're effectively cross-selling, you're bundling well, you're doing your HRAs, which are still paying because of this final rule stay, if you're a much lower number, right? It could be as low as maybe, 250, 270 where you are, right? So if you're selling smarter, 50 to 275. If you're selling and you're not doing things, it's probably 300 to 350.
So 300, if we 300 as a rough number, there's what, 6, if you include 6 days of selling per working week, right? You take 1 day off during AEP, you're looking at 65, 67
working days.
Yeah, working days. Right? There's so much, you're efficient with your time. You can write a large volume of business during AEP. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. It might sound like pie in the sky numbers to you if you've never written 100 apps before in your life and you're thinking, how could I possibly write 300 applications over the next 8 weeks? It is more than possible, I can assure you. You just have to have a really strong system in place.
Obviously, it's totally possible.
Yeah.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
as an agent. So it is 100% possible. Is it easy? No. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy. Is it exhausting? Yes. Is it a grind? Yes. Does your family pissed off at you because you're never around for 7.5 weeks? Yes. All these things are true. But you know what your family is? Happy because you're taking them on a good vacation.
Yeah.
You're providing, but you're with their job.
There you go.
You know what I
Not
mean?
to mention, this is a renewal. When we're talking about that is $100,000 moving forward that you can continue to build on year after year after year. I mean, I love it. I was attracted to this at a corporate sales position that I was in, and I've still never been more excited. Even after all this time, I think the opportunity is still massive. And this year, just like Christian said, to kind of go back to the start of live and what we were talking about, the opportunity this year is potentially bigger than it's ever been in our space, because seniors are genuinely going to be picking up the phone saying, I need to talk to someone, or something. There's a change in my plan. I just got a letter in the mail. My plan's going away. What do I do? Like, that is going to be the atmosphere. This AEP person that just calls their existing clients and they don't even take advantage of that? Or do you want to be the agent who retains as many of their clients as possible, but also adds a huge number of new clients? That's what we want to help you guys with next week on this webinar. Again, it's next Wednesday, September 25th, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Christian and I will be going live. Click on the link, register for it. It's a Zoom, so we'll be live in the Zoom. We're gonna really go step there. We're gonna be offering these resources to you. We're also gonna go over best practices and how to use them and how to convert these prospects into actual clients. It's going to be what I think one of our biggest webinars we've done yet this year. I'm super excited about it. We've already spent a ton of time internally putting this together, talking about it, planning it. It's going to be big.
And seating is limited, virtual seating, I mean, right? Like, so spots available are people we have on this webinar. It is being limited. So if you CP for it now, either in the Facebook event that we've created for the group or on the link that Lester dropped in the chat, either one is good. You can reserve your spot for the webinar. And yeah, I mean, come for this and be there and make it a priority, right? Put it on your calendars, block the time off. I always see people on some, they're like, I had an appointment or I had a doctor's appointment or whatever the case might be. Don't get me wrong, those things are important, but did you have no week? Usually not. For some of you, maybe that's the case, but for 99% of you, it's probably not. And, you just didn't block the time, or you didn't make it a priority, right?
Yes.
Or you could have had that appointment the next day or the day before or earlier in the day or something like that, right? So obviously appointments are highly, highly important. If you prioritize this, you will not. I think there's a lot of really good information we're going to be sharing, and I think there'll be a lot of value.
And the thing is, you don't buy anything from us at all. This is a completely free webinar. A lot of these strategies you can implement without even having to purchase anything from us. Obviously, we'd love to help you guys in any way that we can. So again, block off your schedule, make it a priority to be on this webinar to see how can I earn $100,000? Again, this is $100,000 in renewable income. You don't get this type of opportunity in most industries, right? Most industries, like life insurance as an example, shout out to all you hamsters out there. You make 100K, you make 100K. But again, I was a hamster for years, so I'm allowed to say that. I was a hamster for almost 3 years straight, where I was on that life insurance wheel constantly. Being able to work in with seniors, help them with something they genuinely need help with, earn a renewable income, right? Renewals are going to come in every year. You can earn $100,000 this AEP, and then next year you can do it again and again and again, and you can earning those renewals. Yes, I said hamster, you guys. I was a hamster. I'm allowed to say it. I was a hamster for many years.
He's a self-hating
hamster,
you guys.
I am.
A self-hating hamster.
That's right. Let me help you transition off the hill the same way I did. I am able to take those renewals now. That's what ultimately drew me into this industry. So, Christian and I collectively have in this space with marketing, with selling, with retention, with compliance, with all of it, right? We've been doing this for over a decade between the both of us, over 20 years experience between both of us, and we're giving away all this information for free. All of this information, all these gold nuggets we're giving away for free next Wednesday, the 25th, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Register at the link below. Don't miss this webinar. And if you're scared, if you're not prepared, let's figure this out. Let's do this. Let's figure this out together. Let's get past this. Let's retain your current clients. Let's add a shitload of new clients. And let's get you to $100,000 in renewals this AEP.
Whop, 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 whop. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Text just came. I think it just came to me. We better get off so we can talk about this.
All right.
Well,
let's, guys.
Very positive text.
That's fantastic. I love good news. Good news is great.
A text of approval?
Oh, I like that a lot. That's fantastic.
A text of approval?
Like a live stream. I feel like the live, the better. Just good news typically happens when we go. So that's fantastic. Guys, again, check out that link below. We also have an event in the group, so you can be in there for the event as well. If you have questions leading up to, feel free to reach out. Feel free to shoot an email over right now if you want to, leads@leadheroes.com. We'd be more than happy to start talking about some of this stuff right now. So again, until Wednesday, you guys, happy selling and get ready for your best AEP you've ever had.
See you guys then. Have a good weekend and whop, 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 whop.